Alcoholism did not care that I was on Friends, and alcoholism did not care about any of that shit. Alcoholism wants you alone, it wants you sick, and then it wants to kill you. In the book, I compare it to the Joker, because the Joker just wants to see the whole world burn, and so does alcoholism and addiction. And it took over decades of my life, and I pray to you, if you worry that you're having this problem, or you know somebody that is, raise your hand, find somebody who's smarter than you about this, and talk to them, and be honest about it, because there are people that will help you, and get their help. It doesn't go away. It never goes away.
Hey, how's it going out there, everyone? The Philosopher's Stone, back at you with another vid. So, I've done a lot of videos over the past few months on, reality creation and esoteric stuff and all this jargon, but the one thing that I can say that I have experience with is alcohol consumption and addiction. After overcoming 35 years of alcohol, I've been sober now for nearly 3. I've seen both ends of the spectrum when it comes to this crippling vice, man. Now, obviously, alcohol, it affects people differently, right? This is a given. But for the most part, for me, it was a way to socialize. I mean, I was never very sociable growing up. I mean, I always liked just doing my own thing. I always liked being alone. And it's like when you get in your 20s, right? And you're working all week, and then the weekend comes and you're just stressed from work. You want to go out, you want to have a few drinks with your buddies, right? Well, this is the way my life was. And it becomes a habit, right? Every weekend you go out and you drink. And in the beginning, it doesn't really seem like too much. It's like something you look forward to. You have some good times, some good laughs, maybe a few scraps every now and again, right? But as time rolls on, man, and the years pile up, this habit becomes crippling. It really, really does. It really takes you over in the long run. And, the thing is, alcohol is sort of one of those things that a lot of people don't think is a big deal, right? But for me, I had it ruin my life over and over and over and over. And there's only a select few people that can actually pull themselves away from that and actually look and see what's happening, because alcohol in itself, a lot of people just end up, alone at the end of the day, because it's such a negative, it's such a depressant, and it's a hole that is very, very hard to get out of unless you're aware enough to actually see what's going on and have enough courage and discipline to quit when you know it's ruining your life. And for the most part, a lot of people say, well, this is sort of ruining my life because, excuse me, I would, obviously I like doing videos. So in my alcohol days, I'd be doing uploads and right, these videos, drunk and obnoxious and loud and stupid and just going right off the handle all the time, man. Facebook Live and all I was doing is basically making a fool out of myself on a daily basis. I would drink and I'd lock myself away and I'd just sit alone. And then I because of the dopamine that you're getting from booze, You feel so good and you're listening to the tunes and, you're smoking a bit of weed and drinking, and now you feel like socializing, right? That's why alcohol is such a sociable thing, People get together, and it's almost felt fake to me. Like I say before, I was never very a sociable person. So in order for me to socialize, in order for me to go to a bar or something like that downtown and go bar hopping or whatever, and let's go pick up some chicks, man. Let's go downtown, right? And we'll do your pre-drinking before you went, so you get courage up enough to go down and right, and then go into a bar with a bunch of people you don't know and just try to socialize and pick up chicks, and it just all felt so fake to me. And I'd get so drunk and belligerent, and it always failed for me by the time I got to the bar. I was always too drunk to do anything anyway. So this is the thing, man. It just turned into a big waste of money. It turns into a negative. It turns into a depressant. You're hungover the next day. You look in your wallet, you're like freaking a couple $100 short, and there's really no payoff to it at all, right? And then it's like, well, I'm hungover now, so I need another beer to sort of, they call the hair of the dog. Here's the hair of the dog, drink that. And then you drink it and get rid of the hangover, and before you know it, you're freaking drunk again. And it's this repetitive cycle. It just keeps continuing over and over and over and over. And you start piling the years on, man. And it doesn't get any better. It doesn't. So I just know a lot of people that, even like, celebrities and stuff like that, who've had alcohol take over their lives. And the guy from Friends just, lost his life, right? He was an alcoholic, man. The name is not coming to me right now, but Chandler, whatever his name is in real life. The thing is, man, a lot of people suffer behind closed doors, right? And all of a sudden, you've made such a state of your life, of your reality, that you feel like you've gone so far into this hole of despair and hell. And for me, I felt like I was in purgatory, man. It was like, how am I going to beat this? How am I going to let this take over my life? Or am I going to, change it? And the thing is, I never had a problem this time around giving up on it, right? If you finally get to a point where you say, okay, I've had enough, right? Whatever your rock bottom is, right? I've had many times where I thought I hit my rock bottom. A lot of shit happened, and but that wasn't it, man. It was like at one point, it's like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna stop, and I know that this is it. I'm not gonna go back and do it again. So, I mean, anybody out there like who's got this addiction, I mean, they give up on themselves is what happens. They give up on themselves, and they just don't care about anything at this point, right? They don't care. They don't have the slightest clue of what's going on in the reality. They're just unconscious. They're angry. They're depressed. They're negative, and they just want to basically push out all this crap to the world, and all this anger and hate and everything else. The way they're feeling is what they're pushing out to the world, and they're too unconscious to see it, to see the reflection. It's like, what are you doing to yourself, man? Like, there's no talking to these people. There's no talking to me at that point. When people said, hey, this and that, and it's like, I didn't care, man. I wasn't listening to anybody. I was doing my thing. Nobody could tell me different, right? You got to get to that point where it's like a light bulb's just got to go on, and it's like, whoa, man, like, okay, like, And it's so hard to get to that point in life. It really is, man. I mean, people go to AA and this and all this, whatever the case may be. I never did that. I just had an online mentor that sort of got through to me and changed the way I thought, changed my habits, right? And your habits are everything, because instead of taking that drink, go for a walk, right? A new habit, healthier habit. Instead of taking that drink, get down and do 20 burpees, right? Instead of taking that drink, work out, read a book, whatever. I don't know, man. Like something different, right? That's more beneficial, a better, healthy habit than that. And it's easier said than done. It really, really is, man. But you got to have some sort of support. You do, man. I mean, I was even trying to put myself into the mental and everything at one point. It got that bad where it was like, man, like this is gonna kill me. If I don't stop, I'm gonna die. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, man. It's like you never thought that you could have a worse day than the day before, and all of a sudden you got a worse day than the day before, man. It's crippling, man. It's truly crippling. And anybody out there is watching this, you know, I don't know. I don't know really what to say at this point, but reach out to me or whatever. And if you're going through some kind of hardships with this, and I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right? But with that being said, 11 minutes in, so we're going to leave it at that. Take it, Ace. See you in the next.